this book. It's a library book, it's actually from the children's section, and it is about Shakespeare. It says, explore the life and times of history's most famous playwright, from his Elizabethan world to the stories that inspired him. Now, I always say that the beauty of the Dolling Kindersley books is that they're very well illustrated, as you can see from the cover. So we will have a look inside and see what we can find. Okay, just gently put that down. Right, I'm going to add a little bit more light. So the contents are the early years, going to school, religious conflict, a country childhood, country fun, the lost years, up to London, London shows, Queen Elizabeth I's court, the playwrights, England at war, plague and poetry, enemies and protectors, the players, building the globe, staging a play, music and dance, clothes and costumes, the boy player, the audience, Shakespeare's comedies, the King's Men, the famous tragedies, the Roman plays, the romances, Sun and Stars, Return to Stratford, printed plays, Shakespeare's legacy, Did You Know, Who's Who, Find Out More, glossary and an index. Now, these are the early years of Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in the market town of Stratford-upon-Avon, England. His exact birth date is unknown, but it would have been shortly before his christening on the 26th of April. William was born into a wealthy middle-class family. His father John served on the town council and was one of Stratford's leading men. He worked as a glove maker and also dealt in wool and timber. So let's have a look at some of the pictures. And here we have Shakespeare's birthplace. William was born in this house in Henley Street, Stratford. The house is now the Birthplace Museum and is furnished as it would have been in Shakespeare's day. And this picture says walls were covered with decorative tapestries or cheaper painted cloth. So this is the interior of Shakespeare's bedroom. This is the bed. It says straw was used as a mattress. Crowded house. William probably shared a truckle bed like this one with some of his brothers and sisters. During the day, the lower bed could be wheeled onto the upper one. So these are just examples of how he would have lived at that time. And this peculiar contraption is, it says, built to impress. As a small child, William probably sat in an elaborately carved high chair just like this. Parents who could afford such a fancy high chair would be seen to have wealth and good taste. Now this is about his father, position of authority. In 1568, John Shakespeare was made High Bailiff of Stratford, which was like Shakespeare would have gone to a petty school to learn to read. This was a small private school for boys and girls. At 6, the girls left school to be taught at home, while middle-class boys like William went on to the local grammar school to learn Latin. At the time, people needed to know Latin if they wanted to follow a career in law, medicine, teaching, or the church. This is an example of some written Latin, and it says, "Reading matters. Children learn to read using a horn book, a piece of wood covered with printed paper, protected by a sheet of transparent horn." And presumably this is an example of the dress of boys of Shakespeare's age at the time. Tragic inspiration. At school, Shakespeare read the works of ancient Roman authors like Seneca, who wrote plays about suffering and death. One of Shakespeare's first plays was Titus Andronicus, a bloodthirsty tragedy inspired by Seneca. Old favourite. One of Shakespeare's favourite writers was the poet Ovid, 143 BCE to 17 CE, whose poem Metamorphosis is a collection of stories drawn from ancient Greece and Roman myth. Religious conflict. The 16th century was a time of bitter religious conflict. All English people were Christian, but there were two rival versions of the faith, Catholicism and Protestantism. In 1534, Henry VIII broke with the Pope and the Catholic Church. His son, Edward VII, and younger daughter, Elizabeth I, supported the Protestant faith, while his elder daughter, Mary, was a devout Catholic. This is an English Bible. Catholics used a Latin Bible, but Protestants thought that the Bible should be translated. This English translation was written in Switzerland during Mary's reign. Bloody Mary. Queen Mary was nicknamed Bloody Mary, as she had almost 290 Protestants burned at the stake. In turn, Elizabeth I had 193 Catholics executed because they were loyal to the Pope. Mixed beliefs. Catholics and Protestants both used the cross as a symbol of their faith. Though Catholic crosses were more ornate, it is hard to tell what Shakespeare believed. His plays do show certain Catholic features, such as characters that swear by saints. However, one play, King John, is strongly anti-Catholic. Perhaps, like many English people, he had a mixture of beliefs. A country childhood. William Shakespeare grew up in the heart of the countryside. He knew the farmers' fields around Stratford, the meadows where wild flowers grew, and the Forest of Arden to the north. As an adult writing plays in London, Shakespeare drew on his memories of the countryside. His plays are full of accurate descriptions of birds, flowers, trees, wild animals, clouds, and the changing 1st of May, people celebrated the arrival of summer by dancing around decorated poles called maypoles. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare writes, "They rose early to observe the rite of May." Games and festivals. At quiet periods in the farming year, people found time for games and sports such as cockfighting and football. There were also festivals to celebrate the changing seasons, religious events and royal visits. Now this chapter is called The Lost Years. We know little of what Shakespeare did from the time he left school at the age of 15 until 1592, when he was described as an up-and-coming playwright in London. Church records show that in November 1582, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway. He was 18, while Anne was 26 and expecting their first child, Susanna. In 1585, twins arrived who were named Judith and Hamnet. And here it says, "A place in heaven." 1 in 3 babies died in the 1500s. Christenings were important so that babies would go to heaven if they died. Susanna was baptised in Stratford on the 26th of May, 1583. Now here we have Anne Hathaway's house. William's wife, Anne, grew up in a large farmhouse in the village of Shottery, 2 kilometres or 1.2 miles west of Stratford. Today the farmhouse is known as Anne Hathaway's cottage. Hunting for clues. For hundreds of years, scholars have hunted for clues that might explain what Shakespeare was doing during his lost years. His writing shows knowledge of types of work such as medicine, soldiering and the law, which suggests that he may have had some personal experience of them. Up in London. In the 1580s, Shakespeare said goodbye to his family and set off to seek his fortune in London. He was just one of thousands of country people who moved to the great city in the late 16th century. On arriving, he would have been struck by the noise, dirt and smells of the city, but he would have also been impressed by the beautiful churches and the grand mansions of the wealthy nobles. Crossing the river. Walking near the River Thames, Shakespeare would have heard the watermen calling out for passengers. The watermen rowed Londoners up and down the river and across to Bankside and back. And this is an example of a waterman. Here, this long picture is a view of London from the south by Dutch artist Klaus Jans Viska, circa 1660. Spreading city. When Shakespeare came to London, the city was spreading fast in all directions. Bankside on the south bank was rapidly becoming London's main entertainment centre. Merchant's Mite. This is a merchant and his wife, dated 1590. The city was run by rich traders known as merchants. Trade was central to the wealth of the city, and every craft and trade had its own controlling organisation called a guild. Sounds of the city. London was full of street sellers shouting out special cries toys and second-hand clothes. London shows. Having grown up in sleepy Stratford, Shakespeare must have found London an exciting place. There was a variety of entertainments on offer. Londoners enjoyed watching cruel sports, such as bull or bear fights, and they often gathered to watch executions. Many enjoyed gambling at dice and cards, or playing sports, such as bowls. And here we have a gory gallows. Watching executions for entertainment was a long-standing tradition. The executions of traitors were the most gruesome. The traitors were half-hanged, then their bellies were cut open and their inner organs burned in front of them. That's not very nice. This looks like cockfighting, yes. Cockfighting was a popular 17th century sport. Onlookers would watch the birds fight to the death. It was certainly a very gruesome time. And here we have bear baiting, I think. Yes, here in 16th century. In the bear garden, dogs were set against a bear tied to a stake. The bear's teeth were sometimes pulled out to give the dogs a better chance. Queen Elizabeth I's court. And here is the lady herself. When the Queen was not travelling the country, her court was based in the royal palaces around London. Elizabeth I surrounded herself with young male courtiers who all competed for her favour. They flattered her by comparing her to the Roman moon goddess Diana and called her Gloriana, the glorious one. Pelican Queen. In this 1574 portrait, the 41-year-old queen wears a pelican brooch. Female pelicans were thought to be perfect mothers, so the queen wore this brooch to show how much she cared for her people. Dripping with jewels. Both men and women at court competed to look as expensively dressed as possible. Courtiers spent lavishly on jewels, which they used to decorate every item of clothing from their shoes to their hats. And here we have the signature of Elizabeth I and the signature of Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex. Pride comes before a fall. The Earl of Essex was one of the Queen's favourites. In 1601, he led a rebellion against the Queen, which failed, and Essex was beheaded. Shakespeare refers to the Earl's downfall in Much Ado About Nothing. Royal procession. Elizabeth I's courtiers sometimes carried her through London in a seat called a palanquin. This gave ordinary people a chance to see their queen. This 19th century woodcut was copied from a 1601 painting by Robert Peake. The playwrights. The London stage was dominated in the early 1590s by the plays of a group of university-educated men such as Robert Greene, Christopher Marlowe and Thomas Nash. By 1592, Shakespeare was also an established playwright. His success was due partly to the fact that he was once a player. He knew what worked on stage and what did not. quell and quill. Tools of the trade. All educated people knew how to cut a pen from a goose feather using a penknife. Playwrights like Shakespeare had to keep their penknives close at hand, ready for when the quill's nib wore out and a new one needed to be cut. Marlowe. The writer who most influenced Shakespeare was Christopher Marlowe, 1564 to 1593. Marlowe put stirring speeches into the mouths of tragic heroes such as Dr. Faustus, a scholar who sells his soul to the devil. And here is Dr. Faustus summoning a devil using magic. England at war. From 1585 to 1604, Protestant England was at war with Catholic Spain, ruled by King Philip II. The war created a mood of patriotism in the country, and people wanted to see plays drawn from English history with battles on the stage. So in the 1590s, Shakespeare wrote 9 plays dealing with English history, featuring kings, wars and battles for the throne. Famous last words. The play Richard II tells how King Richard II was overthrown by his cousin, who became Henry IV. The play contains Shakespeare's famous patriotic speech spoken by John of Gaunt. This happy breed of men, this blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England. Sir John Falstaff. Falstaff is the drunken knight who befriends Prince Hal in the 2 Henry IV plays. The plays show a series of rebellions against Henry IV, whose troubled reign is God's punishment for overthrowing Richard II. Agincourt. Henry V tells the story of England's great victory over the French at the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. Follow your spirit, cries the king, and cry God for Harry, England, and St. George. Murder most foul. In Richard III, Shakespeare created one of his most famous villains. Richard murders his nephews in order to become King of England. Okay, so I am going to leave it there, but I am enjoying reading this book and looking at the pictures. So I will finish this book in another video very soon. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that little look at Shakespeare and his background.